YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Bree. I go by That's by Bree on all of my social media. Thank you so much for tuning into my video. Today we're going to be discussing how I created this little beauty here. It's a Lisa Frank inspired cardigan that I made for my daughter. I did not use a pattern for this cardigan. I think it's 5. I did 5 tapestries and then I just measured them to her specific measurements, and then I just used a base cardigan design, which is, you know, the back square, the 2 front panels, and the sleeves, and sewed the tapestries together to make the cardigan. In this video, it'll just be some clips of me creating this. It took me like 25 days, I think, to crochet the tapestries, and over that time period I was working on other projects, so I didn't get any recordings of me actually creating the tapestries. So if you're here to see the tapestries being created, that won't be in this video. It's going to be more or so a video towards the end of the process, once the tapestries are made, of me putting all the pieces together and then just learning from there. This is my first cardigan, so there are plenty of mistakes and bumps along the way. I did have to practice the ribbing technique because it wasn't something that I was comfortable with, and I made a little square of just ribbing all around just to try my hand at it because I was pretty uncomfortable with the technique. I do think that the ribbing came out fine. You'll see why in the video. The ribbing is shorter around the inside of the cardigan, as well as all of the drama to go into why the liner doesn't reach the top. I will say I've never sewn a liner. I am not a seamstress. I've never sewn anything before, so this is my first time outside of sewing plushies together that I really worked on something of this magnitude, right? I think this is the biggest thing I've created so far. I am still a beginner. I love tapestry crochet, but this was my first time putting together a bunch of tapestries in order to make a larger project. And I do still think it came out fine. My daughter can fit it. She fits it very well. I was really worried about the measurements of this project, specifically like the arm length and the width and things like that, and then the total length of the cardigan, but it did come out and fit her perfectly. So that is one plus to this. So if you're looking for information on measuring, there will be some of that in this video, as well as just the overall process of putting this together. Okay, I won't hold you any longer. Again, thank you so much for watching my Lisa Frank inspired cardigan.
In this section of the video, I am taking Ava's measurements. I start by taking her shoulder to shoulder measurement for the width of the jacket, and then I move on to the length, which is from the top of the shoulders to the base where you'd like the end of the design to be. I move on to her arms. I measure around the arms for the width of the sleeve, and then I measure the length of the arm for the arm length. I do leave space for the ribbing.
Okay, so in reviewing for the measurements, the back panel is going to be 18 inches, and then the length will be 15. The ribbing will be another 2. We're going to do the sleeves. They're going to be 12 inches around and 13 inches long, which seems big, but we're going to make it work. And then 2 inches of ribbing on top of that. Honestly, I'm super nervous and super excited to see how it's going to come out. Hold on. My baby wants to be in the video. So what I'm going to do is do chains. I'm going to chain the length that we measured. You saying that? Yeah. I'm going to chain the length that we measured just to make sure that my measurements are accurate, because if I made it too big for whatever reason, especially the arm length, I should be able to adjust the chain length and then rewrite the measurements at that. Once I have the exact measurements, I will be able to make sure that the pattern is going to fit onto the sweater, which is the most important part. So to get those tapestry pieces, I have to make sure that the measurements on the sweater is big enough. Wish me lucky that I got my measurements right. Yeah, okay, bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm reviewing my back panel pattern. This is the cheetah I've been talking about. And it looks like, I'm sure there's an easy way to do this, but it is 63 tall and, you know, 50 across. But for the measurements, I think it's opposite. So her measurements are 64 across and 55 in length. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and adjust this pattern to be longer. So in order to keep this kind of nice, I think I'm gonna add 10. So I'm gonna add 5 over here and then add 5 over here to make it 60. And then I'm gonna shorten it by going down here to the bottom of the cheetah. Very sadly, I'm gonna have to remove some of it, so he's just not gonna be as long. Hopefully it doesn't go past this line though. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I'll come back and see what it looks like after. So here's the pattern at 53 and 60, but I don't necessarily like it because I don't like the gap right here. If I was an artist, I would just continue it on. I'm not. I'm going to take these 5 away and I'm gonna add them over here. The tiger will it won't be center, but I think it'll still be fun. I've seen that where it looks like it's coming off the side. It'll look better than just having this really stark line right here. Okay, so I wanted to give a quick visual on what I'm looking at to try to help me create this. So you have the back, the front panels, and the sleeves. Now, what I want to talk about is how I did the math on this. So the back is going to be 60 across. So what you're going to do for that is, I was told in a video that I watched to subtract 8 for the neck if it's an even number. So I subtracted 8 and I got 52, and then I divided that by 2 and I got 26 stitches. These are going to be 26 stitches each, and then they're going to be the same length. So the length of the front panel is going to be 56. So that means this is going to be 26 by 56. Or is it 56 by 26? I don't know. That's why I quit sewing. I don't have time for that. But when I'm crocheting, I know that I'm going to go 26 across and 56 tall. Yep. If you were wondering how they did that, that is how you do it. So I think you guys can see the vision. Back, the front panels, the sleeves. I am aware that that one, the tension got messed up in the middle. It's the right amount of stitches, but I guess when I was changing colors, I tightened my tension. So hopefully that doesn't mess it up. I'm definitely not redoing any of these. These were all challenging. This one was the easiest by far, but I'm gonna go ahead and sew it all together. I'm actually gonna do it this way. So like backside out. And I am gonna add liners to these so that she liners so that she can actually wear them. These ones aren't that bad, like if you're looking color change wise. And on this one, I tried my hand at doing more bobbins, so I had less to carry through. You can really see like the difference here. So this, there was more tangles and there were points where it was really confusing, while this, you know, it created that tension issue. But yeah, this one is just a disaster also. So I do have to add a liner so that this is wearable. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get that done. Are sewn together. I actually crocheted them, so I did single crochets on the inside. So I need to cut that. I don't know if that counts as sewing. My model is currently playing golf, so I'm not gonna run her in here, but I'm gonna go out there and try it on her, and I'm so excited. And I'm going to measure for the ribbing one more time. I was thinking about 3 inches, but the jacket does look, the cardigan does look a little short. So I'm just gonna make sure that the 3 inches is a good length for her. I am gonna block it and steam it. So
I know that will stretch it. So I don't want to make it too big. I don't know. And then also I followed the pattern exactly. It was like a basics. It wasn't a pattern per se. It was a YouTube video, and it was just like basic facts about like how to make a cardigan pattern. And she was like, leave 7 or 8 stitches for the neck, and I was like, okay. So I did that. I left. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 11 stitches actually for the neck, and it looks really small, especially if you're gonna add ribbing, right? Like around it. Like, where's her head gonna go? So I think I'm gonna have to also do like the ribbing like this, and then once it hits a certain point, start like decreasing it, and then like rebuilding it back up. Honestly, I'm not that confident. I did practice my ribbing, but that is not something that I practice, but I can give it a try. She's coming together. All the tapestries on this, it is what, the day before Thanksgiving, so like the 26th. So I finished the last tapestry on this a couple of days ago. So it took me like 25 days to do all 4 of these. But in all honesty, I did take some breaks and create some other things. So yeah, she's coming together. So I did try it on Ava, and 3 inches of ribbing along the bottom is going to be what I'm going to do. But I am thinking if I want to, instead of doing a ribbed border on here, just because it's so tightly spaced right here, if I could just do a regular border somehow, or if I do 3 inches down here, if I could just do a small one. I don't know. But I am actually gonna go ahead first and crochet the sides together. I'm debating if I want to do the arm ribbing in the round, or if I want to do it straight and then sew it together. I think I'm going to do it straight because the sleeves are pretty long, so I'm only going to do a short one. I think I'm going to do it straight and then sew it together. I will meet you guys back here once I have this sewn together. Once I have this crocheted together and I started the border. Normally for the ribbing you would do a foundation row, but I started all of my tapestries in foundationless chains, so I already have the chains down here, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to attach it, chain to 3 inches, and then start working all the way around. It's getting close. I'm going to do it in hot pink.
I'm gonna do 12 for my 3 inches. 12 chains. So actually it'll be 11 because you skipped the first one. This is how far I've gotten. I started at 2:15. It's almost 5 o'clock. There were a lot of breaks in there, obviously, because mom life. I am done with this for today. I'm gonna be done with the sweater for today. I'm gonna be done crocheting until like 7:38 after I put my daughter down. And then I will start on my pattern testing. Yeah, I mean, not start on it, finish it. I already have the head done and the body. I don't know what we're allowed to show because this is my first pattern test, but yeah, if she gives me the okay, I'll give a little sneak peek here. Oh, and I have to do the wings. It has wings, you guys. I'm so excited for this. This is my first wing project, so yeah. It's still Thanksgiving. I was able to do a few rows while at our families get together, but not too many. I just spent the last 30 minutes or so finishing up this front part and starting the foundation for around the neck. What I'm gonna do is a really short, so I'm gonna chain 3 and then work 2 down, like all the way around, to just give it a really short, small finishing touch. And then I will move on to the sleeves, and we're getting really close. I'm kind of worried about doing the sleeves before, oopsie, it's blurring. I'm a little worried about doing the sleeves before buying the liner, but I think I'll be able to pick up a liner tomorrow. So maybe I'll do the ribbing on the sleeves and then just not sew it together yet. I think that'll be fine because tomorrow I'm gonna go to Joann's and get a nice satin liner to go inside of here. I'm going to measure for the liner. I did hide and cut as many of the tails as I could, but I left some for the arm because I don't want to mess it up because these aren't finished. I still have to do the ribbing on the sleeves. So I mean, I finished the ribbing on this part, I guess I should say. I still have to do the cuffs and then sew the sleeves together. But yeah, I'm gonna measure from here because I'm gonna sew it like over here and like over here for this, and then from the right here, this blue, to the top seam right there. And then same thing for the arm, the front. Let's see what we've got. I'm gonna measure here all the way up to that seam, and then from there to here to this one. This is where we are leaving her tonight. I'm very happy with my measurements. They were like spot on all the way around. All I'm gonna do now is clean up this mess because I don't want my daughter getting it, and go to bed. See you guys tomorrow. I did get 1 yard of the liner from Joann's, and then I just measured it and cut it with my husband, and I've got plenty extra, so in case I made a mistake, I could do the whole thing again and still have yarn to spare. I don't actually know how to sew, so that is going to be interesting. I have started to hand sew it on, and I've already ran into my first like oops. I didn't make it long enough up here. I didn't add like extra allowance, I guess, to flip it back. So now I don't know what I want to do. I definitely am not gonna like take it out and redo it. This is no fun. I think I'm gonna sew up the side and then see if I can't like get as much as I can to flip. I wish it wasn't a raw edge, but what can you do? What can you do? I mean, you could always measure better, but that is null and void at this point. Here's what it ended up looking like. As I had said, I didn't have enough at the top, but I tried to get as much as I could in there. There's a couple of strings here. That's what it looks like so far. That took me quite a while, but now I'm gonna move on to the front panels after I eat. It's now 8 o'clock. I had to stop and go feed, bathe, put my youngest to bed, and spend a little bit of time with my oldest. But here's what I got to before that. For the next 4 hours, so from like 8 to 12, I should be able to hopefully finish lining this, maybe start the ribbing on the sleeves, or if I'm completely over this project, I'll go ahead and continue working on my pattern test. Here's like a little sneak peek. This is one of the feet for it. There are 4, this is one of the legs for it. There are 4 legs. So yeah, that has a lot of parts. I'm currently working on wings for it, and I really want to do that and not this, but I know I absolutely have to finish this, and I just hate it. So instead of putting it off to the very last minute installing, I'm gonna just try and get it done. Okay, it is 11:15, and all of the liners have been sewn on. As you can see, I was short here, but I just kept going. Honestly, it's covered, so let's turn it inside out and see the work. I'm really happy with the fact that when it's like this, you can't actually see that it doesn't go all the way to the top. And I only made one oopsie where I sewed through 2, which is like right there. I'm gonna spend the next 45 minutes adding ribbing here to close up at least 1 sleeve. I was only able to finish 1 cuff because I give myself a hard stop of midnight because my daughter is gonna wake up at 6 a.m. regardless of what time I go to sleep. So I'll finish the other one tomorrow. And here's a view of the back.
Alrighty, thank you so much for watching this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it. If you learned something, put it down below. If you just watched while you were crocheting, thank you so much for your time. I genuinely appreciate it. If you're new here, please consider giving me a subscribe, like, comment, and yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Please tune in to my Christmas series. I'm currently creating 8 to 10 loveys to donate this holiday season. If that's something that interests you, my first video is already up. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye! Thank you.